Welcome to Paboo.
Now I am so worried about Russ.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. Thank you for listening. We are back here with High Level Wizards podcast. I'm here with the panel. Welcome back, guys, as always.
Hello.
Well, episode 3.
Yeah, we made it.
We made it.
We did it.
We've done it. We're famous. Everyone knows us. Everywhere I go, people say hello.
My Twitter's blowing up.
Yeah, we're...
I know, I've gone from 10 followers to 15.
Wow.
My Twitter is inflamed.
We are what you would call...
Yeah,
we are what you would call not only high level, but next level wizards.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, a serious thank you to everyone who's been listening. Here we are, episode 3. We're really having a good time and really enjoying sharing our thoughts on things that we find extremely important.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's up this week? Let's talk about a little bit off the top here, guys. High Level Wizards podcast.
Yes.
Matt, what's been up this week with you?
I'll start it off. Not a lot new. Let's see. I started getting back into a few games I haven't picked up in a while. So Guild Wars being one of them. Guild Wars 2. I played it when it first came out. I remember I got it with you. Mm-hmm. But then it was like when I first got it, I know Russ had already been playing a lot.
Yep.
And so I was kind of playing on and off, and then never really got to his level of hitting endgame at the time. And now, there's no subscription, right? So I always have the game. They've added so many updates since the original
There's an
launch.
expansion out now.
It will be coming out.
Oh,
I'm not exactly sure when. Yeah. It's looking really good. It's essentially a whole new area with jungle and dinosaurs and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No one
and
likes
a lot of new mechanics you can do in the
Warcraft
world.
did it.
Everyone did everything, gee.
It's true. It's like Simpsons did.
Yeah.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah. And so, I've been having a lot of fun with it. Again, I can just pick it up whenever. You don't have to worry about getting worried about not playing it and still paying, right? So it's nice.
You don't have to pay the price to dust it off.
No, exactly. Yes. Yeah. And then also just yesterday, I actually started playing Dark Souls 2 again, which I've been meaning to get back into.
I've never played that.
It's the series is great. You'd like it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah. A lot of people I'm sure know that just the mechanics are great. It's unforgiving, but huge reward for everything you do.
It's very scary.
It feels like you can work in one certain area for hours sometimes even, but then once you get it, you understand how to deal with all the enemies, how to best approach certain situations. You get rewarded for it, right? You get... Yeah. Kind of like you were mentioning with Monster Hunter, the whole carrot on the stick thing. It's a tale as old as time itself. But, it's just great. Awesome. And I'm playing a new class, playing a caster instead of being, I was a dual-wielding sword bro.
So, I heard that when you play Dark Souls and Demon Souls types games, especially in Demon Souls, the caster class was considered too OP.
That might have been the case.
I know they scaled it. They scaled it a lot through the 2 versions after Demon, but explain how the caster works. Before, it was apparently just all the damage, no care in the world.
So now, I'm still just starting, and I'm still but you start with one spell, and it's called I forget what it's called right now, but it's essentially a magic missile. And every time you...
Soul Siphon or something?
Something like that. It's essentially a magic missile. You kind of charge it up and cast it. And when you start, you've got you have it equipped, and you need a staff in order to cast it. And you have 30 charges of it when you respawn. And until you rest up at a bonfire or die and respawn again, you've always just got those 30 charges to work with.
Awesome.
So in most situations, I'll be using my staff to hit people with, or I have an offhand dagger as well that I can use, and they're doing okay. Again, it's just the starting area of the game, so it's not too bad. But I mean, if I get in a really hairy situation, or someone's or there's an enemy at a distance I need to get rid of, then yeah, I'm going to cast my spell and it'll go off at them. It's just nice to have that ranged right away.
Yeah.
So I would right at this point, I would say it might be a little bit easier than it was before. Just starting having the ranged ability right away. But then again, I've also played this opening before, so it seems easier because I know what to do. I know how to handle myself. Right?
It's not Matt's first.
Yeah. But then I mean, obviously the trade off is that later on, like a lot of my stats are going to be going into my intelligence and attunement, which makes me cast my spells faster and stuff like that, as opposed to going into like my strength and being able to carry better equipment and better armor and all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, really enjoying it. Glad I got back into them because I've been meaning to get back into Dark Souls again.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Sounds scary.
What about you, Jeremy?
Oh, well, me. Wow. This week I got back into a little bit of a guilty pleasure. A little bit of World of Warcraft.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a very
it's a new game, right?
It's a very culty kind of game, like Subspace.
Oh yeah.
Is it like Tibia online?
Yeah, it's a lot like
and
that.
RuneScape?
It's Flash based.
It's more like
it's a browser.
It's a browser game.
Good,
yeah,
good.
It's a browser game. No, in all seriousness, I played a lot of it before. I haven't got into it in probably 2 expansions. I don't know how long that's been. 2 years.
No, we played Pandaria.
We tried it, but we
yeah,
didn't.
That's true. We didn't really. Yeah.
We played it.
Yeah.
And then we decided we were not.
You touched it. You.
Now I'm having the full hands-on experience. I don't know. It's been good.
It's very deep.
He's lifted the skirt.
He's
dove it in.
Paws out of here.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Helldivers.
Sweet. What's that?
It's a squad-based Space Marine game that came out on PSN.
For the PS4.
For PS4, yeah. PS4 only, I guess. It's
Yeah.
like $20. But it's basically a constantly evolving war. You fight for this dystopia called Super Earth, where everything is just the worst. But you get to go out and fight for all the resources that keeps this terrible dystopia going. And you fight 3 different enemies at once, sometimes 3 wars, sometimes 1. And your decisions on where you're going for missions have a direct impact on what happens.
Now, is that PvP or single player? Or
It is co-op or single player. Single player, I have found, is extremely difficult by yourself. Because when you're trying to capture anything, there's waves of guys, and you just don't even have enough time to reload. So you get pushed off the capture point, and then you have to go back and starts all over again. It's a challenging game.
Do you ever fight other players?
No, not that I've seen, but I haven't. I'm only like level 4 or 5.
Okay.
So
single player, squad based.
But friendly fire is always on.
Yeah, it's serious. It's friendly fire's on, and as you know, I showed you guys a little bit earlier. There's definitely some people who are not aware of
or just don't
how
care.
to handle themselves.
Yeah,
on the internet. Well, that's not new. That's not new to games.
Yeah,
but that's basically me. About you, G.
Oh, you know,
Dinkus.
Slumpa de Binkus.
Slinky Bumpus.
I love it.
Well, I've been playing a little bit of World of Warcraft with Jeremy. The new expansion's pretty interesting. I especially enjoy.
It's not really that new anymore.
Yeah, well, it's new to me.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm fucking podcasting here.
The noise.
The noive of that guy.
Where do you get all... Okay, no, seriously though. So the WoW garrisons are like pretty much the coolest feature that I've seen thus far, although I have seen very little of the actual expansion because I spend all my time in my fucking garrison.
So explain what that even is.
The garrison is sort of like a base that you can build in the expansion area of Draenei, I guess it's called. Is that how it's pronounced?
I think it's Draenor.
Draenor? Draenei?
Draenei is like
that's
that race. Yeah.
I know the things.
But the garrison is interesting in the sense that like there's no capital city. There's no like big zone.
Yeah, and you have everything in your garrison.
You choose what buildings to build.
So it's like you build your own town?
Yes.
Yeah. It's your own little hub.
Yeah,
and you can choose what to go there. And then, so like example, like I unlocked my mine. And so now I can walk into this mine, and there's basically a bunch of stuff to mine, and I can hand all that to my blacksmith, and he creates a bunch of rare soulbound stuff that I can create.
Ooh.
Epic BOEs, or bind on equip, which is stuff
See,
you can sell.
Jeremy's much farther in the garrison than I am, too.
So how does it work in terms of unlocking more stuff to build for your garrison? Do you just get that from leveling up regularly?
Yeah, you get it through like quests. Yeah.
So specific quests give you more garrison unlocks.
You also gain...
You what happens is you get like resources to expand it, and then you spend your resources to build more buildings.
Okay. That's really interesting.
And you gain followers in your town.
Yeah, and you
they
can
all
send
have
them out.
specs and professions, so you can assign them to jobs in your garrison or send them out on missions.
That's really something.
Can you get unique quests, or is there quests just based from the garrison?
It's a lot of the quests from what I've seen as I'm leveling. I'm not a high level, but you can go to like interesting quests, and you're sending like 10 followers out on a raid against a boss, and they're going to come back with an epic item for you.
Oh, okay.
Like stuff like that. Like you're not able to go watch them do it. It's just sort of this interface where you're like, okay, these are.
It's
I'm
like
commanding.
sending your Sims to work.
And then there's
Yeah.
like a timer bar, and they
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting. The whole garrison thing and the way it works seems borrowed heavily from Star Trek Online, which has pretty much the exact same system for your ship. But it's an excellent system, and it adds a whole new layer. It's really cool. I enjoy it.
Yeah. So sorry for.
Yeah.
Let's get back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
this
No.
week.
I genuinely wanted to know what the fuck that was because I'd never. Yeah.
Yeah, so what the only thing else I really want to talk about is I've been playing CS and I'm watching this guy's videos by the name of War Owl. He's a guy who does like a lot of like Counter-Strike videos, and he's got this new series where he like goes and looks at the Overwatch, which is how like users, they're given cases, and in these cases it's like this person is a potential hacker or not, and then the community kind of decides whether or not this person should be banned. So he puts up like videos of this, and it's like really the fact that you can even make a video series of this is kind of a pretty damning indictment as to how many hackers there really are in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's the most popular competitive FPS out there.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have the most hackers.
Yeah.
First off, because of that fact alone, right? It's
Yeah.
just.
I hack a lot.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
always like 7 and 18.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I've seen one of those videos, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty
It's a
cool
really
how he
good
comes
story.
to his
yeah.
not assumptions, but how he decides, whether or not they're actually hacking or just got lucky with a shot.
He
or
lays it
what.
out like really well, like what he
Yes.
looks for, and like what he's watching. I mean, like, and it's not always hard to tell when someone's hacking. Like in
Correct.
the last video I watched of his where he did it, there was a guy like following dudes with his crosshair through walls and waiting for them to come out on the other side.
Yeah.
But it's it's a shame because CS is a great game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just there's been a lot of controversy around it lately. Lots of pros being caught hacking.
Yep.
I read the forums because I like a good laugh now and then. And every time I go on there, there's always a thread who's like about someone who's like, "Oh, I've been back banned, but I totally wasn't, definitely not, maybe
Hacking.
not hacking."
Yeah, it happens.
I don't feel bad for those people.
No, nobody does. Oh God, the forum is just.
But the new system, like the fact that you can, like players can
Yeah,
involve themselves,
yeah.
it's similar to how League of Legends had their
they have these-
tribunal.
yeah.
And you're actually rewarded for doing it. Like I remember in college, I'd be sitting there bored in class, and I'd go and judge like a certain amount of tribunals.
So how does that work? Like, what are you judging on?
So
Like
you
griefing?
yeah. So like
Okay.
someone gets reported for bad behavior, and you look through the chat and decide whether or not they deserve this report.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's people just with a stick up their, whatever.
Yeah.
But
You can say ass. It's an explicit podcast.
I've said
Well,
shit
it
and
might
fuck.
for adults.
I've
it
seen-
might not
I've-
be in the ass.
I've said
Oh,
shit and
yeah.
fuck at least 5 times. So
Already, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
it's all good.
I made the assumption that the stick was up the ass.
it
I'm
could
sorry.
be
I'm
anywhere.
sorry, everyone.
I've got one on
It
mine
could be
right
anywhere.
It's true.
No, it's
I
permanently.
put it there.
It's not new.
All right,
what
okay,
else?
sorry, go on. No, you're saying the tribunal? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
and then you can get like points to buy characters or whatever or items in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing really, but it adds like a community aspect.
Yeah, no, I like it. I love that
So
stuff.
just,
I love that kind of stuff. You're essentially, it's like crowdsourcing your support.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's crowdsourced support for your own game.
You don't have to pay anyone. You
Nope.
just have to say, "Oh, we'll give you a couple extra points in game."
Yeah, or some XP boosts or whatever, and
I don't
people
know.
will
If
do
they,
it.
I don't know if they reward you in CS. Do they?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm gonna look into that.
They should.
They should. There must be something.
I mean, even if it's just like a case after
yeah,
like
some sort
10
of drop.
tries.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
Not the new case, but like an old case or something.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, thank you, G.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And now Russ.
Turning to Russ, what's up with you? What's been the happenings?
Well, I'm easy.
We know.
That's not new.
I've just been playing Monster Hunter.
Oh man,
It's such a
how many
big,
weeks on
big
now?
game.
I love this.
It's been like a month, and I have
How many hours?
like 250 hours.
The last time I hung out with Russ, not ironically, but was the day you actually got the new 3DS and Monster Hunter. And that was the last time I ever saw him.
Except for these podcasts.
Except for the podcast, yeah.
That's a struggle to get him out.
I'm forced to shower and leave temporarily.
Well, no. When you're in the shower, then you just have your 3DS in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Yeah.
that seems reasonable.
So I've just been, obviously dedicating a lot of time to that, way further in it, so there's a whole section I kind of want to talk about later.
I'm really impressed that there is that much content.
It's
and there's that much to do.
What's the DLC situation with Monster Hunter? Is there a lot of it?
So, yeah, and the cool part about all the DLC is that it's all free. So,
fuck.
So they're planning it, I believe, a monthly release, free DLC. They've already got, like, the one released. So with that, I don't know if we talked about this previously, but they added, like, a lot of, like, arena-style quests and just fun things that you can do. A lot of it's easy because, like, it's early game. They'll probably release some more, like, structured hard stuff later, but right now they're releasing like kill this little tiny version of this massive monster, right? He's this little, looks like a little dog running around, and you're like, everyone's chasing him around. It's hilarious.
It's mostly like DLC, as like it's not really like not true DLC, but more like patches that reimagine current content in different ways.
Yeah, but I mean that's all you can really
that's
do
right.
with this game.
That's fine, especially when you're not
mix
paying
up the
for
quest.
it, right?
Yeah, exactly. They mix up the quest, and what ends up happening is they drop a certain item that you can develop gear with. So like they have Link's, they have the Triforce set, quote unquote, or whatever. So they got like Link's sword and shield and his whole like get up. They've got like Samus gear for your followers. Like
That's
there's all
cool.
there's all this cool DLC stuff that you can get. So it's really rad that they're giving that up for free, and they're gonna always give like more and more and more.
So the summary here is goodbye, Russ.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
I've also been looking at a lot of videos for like CRPGs, so like Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale stuff. We talked about this last podcast.
A little bit, yeah.
I really, really, really love these games, and I've been looking into them a lot lately. Just been watching videos of that. Just getting back on CS, and it's been really rewarding lately because I guess they released a discount recently.
Yeah, that was during the Katowice
Ah.
tourney in Poland.
So, just having a heyday lately.
Yeah.
Matt with his filthy Polak.
Wow. You're banned. You're banned. We're all banned. Everyone's banned. No, but I just wanted to confirm that we were talking about this.
It was 50% off. So there's a lot of new
There's
people.
An influx of noobs, and it's great.
Well, we were just playing yesterday, and like the amount of bads.
And that's what I wanted to scratch on.
To people that don't understand, when I say bads, I'm talking about bad players in games.
Bads versus bads is what we call it.
Yes.
So there'll be like the last two guys left.
Oh my god!
And it's the most hilarious shit you've ever seen because
like they both turn a corner. They like shoot in opposite directions. You just see them kind of like freak out and flail. They'll like switch guns for no reason and like run around, like literally bump into each other and missing. Yeah. And then somehow one person's standing in the end and he probably thinks he's like the best ever.
Like me when I play Counter-Strike.
It's
yeah, that kind of sounds like me, guys. I'm a silver 3.
It's so...
It's really funny.
Like it gives me like angina. Like my chest just...
And I recently started watching for the first time the IT Crowd.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. So there's that.
He's having a laugh.
How do you?
Yeah. So how far are you?
I'm like 5 episodes in.
Okay, yeah.
It's really exciting.
It's really good. Yeah, it's very good.
So I'm a bit behind, obviously, by a few years.
There aren't that many seasons, though.
No,
It'll be okay.
but it's good.
But that's the beauty of Netflix and all that, is
Yes.
it doesn't matter how many years you're behind.
Nope.
You can just sit there and binge
It's
it.
all there, yeah.
And be like, oh yeah, I watched all that last night.
I should now apologize to the fine people pulling, including my friend Matt.
No,
Listen, you can call me a dirty meathead all you want. It's all good.
It sounded mildly sincere.
Yes.
I liked it. I
Okay.
know I didn't. All right, well that's what's up this week. Good, that's great.
Yeah.
Sounds good, guys.
Yeah.
So we're all addicted to games. And
Yeah.
we're all
Yeah.
it's never gonna end. All right, so moving on. We've thought about talking about a topic here. This is gonna be Russ's little world here, kind of explaining to us some of the recent Nintendo moves and a kind of an interesting feature that I think both of us, me and Matt and G, would like to learn a little bit more about. So,
Yes.
Russ, tell us.
I don't give a shit. No, I'm kidding. I do.
So, I mean,
I'm shaking my head just so everyone knows.
several months ago, Nintendo started releasing, and they announced this at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always been kind of known that there's like a spot on the Nintendo for the scanning of things. Like Skylander started it, where you can scan these characters into your game.
My nephews love those games.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of actually like older people that dig it with their kids too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that was a very cool feature.
What do you mean by scanning, though?
So you place this figure on top of a certain area on your gamepad.
Okay. Like on your Wii U.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and within a certain proximity, it will scan that character's data file, and it will also save to the character. So you can save your information, you can extract your information off this character, this little figurine, which is a cool, like, well-detailed figurine and painted and whatever. But Nintendo recently, I mean, started putting out a lot of these amiibos. So amiibos, what they are they are essentially the same thing. But they're all just Nintendo characters. So you got like all the Mario lineup. You got, you know, like the Link, all like the Zelda lineup. You've got, you know, Samus and all them. You got all the characters basically from Smash Brothers.
King?
You got
Danky Kang.
Yeah,
I don't really remember that game.
it wasn't popular in North America.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. No,
So-
that sounds
so-
reasonable.
More of a Peruvian.
So I never.
Guys, I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, no, sorry, go
So
on.
I never really thought these would like blow up,
Yeah.
but
Because these are essentially just figurines.
they're just figurines. You
And
can
what are they used
load
for?
So essentially, the first features that they were for like Mario Kart, Smash Brothers,
okay.
things like that. You could in Mario Kart, you could like extract data from a few of them, but like it would add in different colors or costumes and stuff. And then for like Hyrule Warriors, you could scan like Link or whatever and get a special sword and things like that. So in Smash Brothers, you can save your data and extract your data off Amiibo, and it'll just be like the character's level in the game, so you can build up your character or whatever. But you don't actually get to play that character; it just beats your ass. So it's interesting, like you don't like the amount of content you get out of the Amiibos because they're sold for like $20, and like people are going insane for them. But the level of content is like not even like what you would assume is a DLC.
Yeah.
Like what? Like obviously it's unlimited, right? Like you could have one figurine and release 10 years worth of games, and obviously there's going to be new content that you can tap your character onto for each game.
Gotcha.
But each game's DLC worth is like not even $1, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, the value is interesting. It's more of like a
Collectible thing.
People are going nuts. Like all my friends are going insane. They were like ordering them from like Japan, Germany, because there's all these rare ones that you couldn't get here, and like it was insane. And like guys who have all the collection, there's like $400 worth already out right now. So, and that's not including the shipping and stuff. So these things are really taking over. They just recently released a new wave. So a lot of like the characters that they already had out were reimagined. So there's like a Gold Mario. There's a I think a Princess Peach. I could be wrong. It might be Daisy, but anyways, she's in a different position, different dress, like graphic, whatever. So I mean, they're really milking the public for this.
Hey, I don't blame them. People buy them. It's all good.
Yeah,
right. Like
That's the point of a business.
Yeah. And to make money. Yeah.
Nintendo followers are collectors.
Yes.
I mean, you got your Pokemon players.
Yeah.
You got your like just like Nintendo games are typically like collection games, right? So you hit in that market. It was a good strat.
Yeah.
It was a really awesome move by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Another thing that they do is you can what was I going to say? The amiibos. One thing I wanted to go back on was in Smash Brothers. There's a cool story where someone leveled this amiibo up to, and I guess the 50 I think was the max level in Smash Brothers that you could have. Essentially, this thing, I think it was on Kotaku too. This thing had almost won a tournament, or I might have actually won a tournament. I didn't do any research, obviously, but it like that was the level of skill that you could get these cool amiibos up to. So I mean, like, it is there if you're trying to really tune up your skill level and trying to be really precise. Like, you could really train against something stronger than the natural game can even release. So, like, it does, give you some stuff outside of vanilla, but in the end, it's just overpriced DLC that you just collect dust on your bookshelf.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. I had no idea that was happening. I don't know what that was.
It's a huge, craze for some people.
Yeah. Crazy.
I mean, I can't say I'm a fan. Yeah. Like, obviously, by how I explained it.
No, I got the sense that you purchased all of them. What are you talking about?
I can't, but I totally understand why people dig it a lot.
Well, it's like any other collectible, really.
Yeah.
Like, and there's no need to understand. I mean, if they're enjoying their purchase, then God bless them, right? Like,
I think there's 3 types of amiibo buyers. People who don't buy it.
Yeah.
People who buy their favorite character.
Yeah. And
then people who buy every single one of them. And I think 90% of the market is the third one.
It's like Beanie Babies.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's
I don't think that's a thing anymore, though, is it?
No.
It was a thing.
Sort of a thing.
You're asking if they're still being, made? Like, if
I don't think it's a thing to collect them as hardcore as it used to be. I remember going to all sorts of any gift shop ever would have Beanie Babies, and I don't see them at the Shell station anymore. So they're gotten crazy.
People are getting. I remember having a conversation, not just to sidetrack a little bit, but I remember having a conversation with someone. They collected a shit ton of these Beanie Babies, and they had some of the rarest ones, right? And they were upset that it hadn't made them any money yet. And I mean, it's been
that's an unrealistic expectation.
It's been 15 years. Wait 100, right? And then it might gain some value, right? But
right now.
And then there's also and it also has taken longer because even the rare ones, these things were mass produced. Let's not
millions upon millions. Of these things were made.
So I mean, but in time they will. I'm sure they'll see some value. It just takes longer. The more of something that there is, and the more accessible it is, and obviously it just takes longer for that to happen. I never thought that even the old NES games and stuff would be worth anything.
Oh, they're worth
because they were all made lots of. Very few of them were maybe in limited releases and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of classic games that were popular sell for a pretty penny still.
Yep.
And it's only gonna go up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just gotta bide your time.
Yeah.
So back to Nintendo.
moving on from Nintendo. So aside from amiibos,
yes,
and I mean those again, they just got released on the March 20th was the last new wave. Nintendo recently had put out the new 3DS, a remodeled 3DS. Yes. Now you can't get I don't think you can get the normal size 3DS
anymore.
Okay. This is new 3DS XL, so it's always the XL size,
which is good.
It's way better. Yeah. You honestly, it doesn't fit in your pocket so nicely. Yeah. But it's honestly well worth it. It's 100 times better than the normal size one.
And it's got more processing power, right?
Yeah, they improve the processing power, so load times are shorter. They can up the graphics in a lot of games. They also added a C stick, camera stick. Yeah. So
which was definitely lacking.
It definitely was lacking. It's similar to a second joystick, but it's more of like a laptop nubbin. Little nubbins.
Like the little thing in the middle of old IBM ThinkPads?
You would think they're old IBM ThinkPads, but that's still a thing.
No, I know it's still in Lenovo's, but I like to think it's an old thing because I don't use it. I remember my dad using it and me being like, why are you using that?
It's unless you have a mouse, whatever. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's
it exists.
It
exists.
It's a thing. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting how it works. Like at first, I was kind of like useless on it, but now I've gotten used to it, and it's really nice actually. The only drawbacks are like is if your thumb is greasy at all, or you're stressed out,
or you've been playing for 10 hours,
your nubbin gets a little greasy.
Yeah. Greasy, hashtag greasy nubbin.
So sometimes you have to go away to clean off your nubbin.
Yeah.
And I always wash my hands before playing 3DS. So that's a thing, and
that's more of a due to the fact that you worship the device.
No,
and
that's just to keep.
And
my
that's
nubbin...
in respect the 3DS.
No, there's no respect. I just want to keep my nubbin dry.
Let me be clean for you, baby. Okay.
So so the new 3DS is awesome. They also added the ZL and the ZR button. Mm-hmm. So now there's two there's a bumper and then there are trigger. They're on the same parallel, like they're right beside each other. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of an interesting fact. Like your hands kind of do get cramped up. If you have small hands, you're fine, but anyone who's kind of like above a teenager level is you're gonna get a little bit of cramping. Don't worry, it goes away. Your hands strengthen.
You adjust.
My hands are different shape now, but I play Monster Hunter like you wouldn't believe.
I can hold things backwards now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, super good. And of course, Nintendo's going to continue to dominate the handheld.
Yeah,
market.
no, absolutely. I completely agree.
I don't think there's any question that Nintendo's strongest.
The Game Gear is going to make a comeback.
Game Gear is coming
back. Game Gear TV tuner, remember?
Yep.
I have to say, one of my friends had a Game Gear, and it was interesting.
At the time, they were sick.
They're amazing graphics.
But the battery was
they drain batteries like,
hey, you want to check out this game for recess, which lapses 15 minutes, and after that, we're done for the day?
Yeah.
Oh, the battery's already out because I was talking that whole time.
Sorry, yeah.
All like 6 of your... I remember. It took like...
It took like 6 AA's, yeah.
Was it AA or was it like the C?
Like those big ones with the two...
With the two nubbins?
Yeah.
No. The 9-volt? No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I don't know anything.
No, I think it was 6 AA's.
Okay?
Yeah,
I had
a
Game Boy, no color.
Guys, this segment's not about Sega.
Yeah.
It's
I was just talking
Nintendo.
about Game Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
I can actually honestly say that I still have an original Game Boy.
That's balling.
That's awesome.
That's
with
awesome.
That's
Mario
really
and
awesome.
Tetris, and that's it.
The greatest thing about the original Game Boy is if you're in the schoolyard, you're trying to play your Game Boy, and some kid's like, "Hey, let me see that." You could just knock them out with it.
Yeah. And then pick it back up and be like, "Sweet, where was I?"
Yeah.
it's Nintendo. You can whip it at cement, and it would bounce back in your hands.
Yep.
That's a good point.
And last thing I wanted to touch on with this segment was Splatoon.
So we're still in the kind of umbrella of Nintendoverse.
Yep.
And
so
Russ is excited for a new game coming out.
They've been rolling out a lot of things, like a lot of big titles, but there's a lot of titles that people don't really know about.
Yeah.
This was actually one of the biggest ones at E3.
Yeah, I remember.
It had the biggest crowd around it. It was an awesome area set up for it's this new multiplayer competitive game called Splatoon. So essentially, Splatoon, you are this I want to say this octopus person.
Yeah.
I'm not too deep into the lore. I just I'm a gameplay style guy.
This sounds like the stupidest game I've ever heard.
But you know what? Coming from him, that doesn't mean anything.
I didn't even really hear it.
Dad.
I didn't really hear it.
Which is awesome.
Awesome game, though.
Okay, so Splatoon, you're basically like the squid person in a 4v4 multiplayer arena.
Yeah.
So there's a few game modes you can do, but essentially the idea of it is you're you are a paint shooting squid that can swim and through the paint and shoot areas of the level and go into that paint.
Yeah.
So as you're running around, you've got this backpack that fills with paint, and you can see your ammo. It's literally like a jar filled with paint, and you see it drain. And as you're shooting the level, the paint is hitting the ground and
it stays
splatting there.
Yeah.
Now this is for the whole map. So as you shoot the areas, you gain a percentage of the area. So as you cover areas in your color, you gain that area.
Everyone has a different color, or is it team?
It's 2 teams. So I think it's blue and red.
Okay.
So and as they can cover your paint with their color,
you
have to sort of battle for supremacy of the color domination.
Gotcha.
there is combat, so you can shoot each other, and the other color hurts you. So as they shoot you, like you die, you drop all your items and whatever.
Does their color on the ground hurt you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But you can also swim through the paint.
Yeah.
And that actually acts as a reloading mechanic.
Okay.
So you refill your paint by swimming through it. But on a side note, players can barely see you. Like there's just like a head swimming through, right? So you can kind of be more evasive and sneaky. And then you jump out of the paint and like you can shoot them or whatever, and then continue on your way to cover.
I've seen some gameplay and it looks very interesting.
Really, really, really cool mechanic.
Nothing else really like that.
No,
that I've seen.
No,
Yeah.
and it's very kid friendly. Like if you want to get your kids into shooters, but it's also competitive and deep enough that adults can play. I'm definitely going to be playing it.
Yeah,
like it's got a lot of like awesome looking action. Pretty cool game modes. Just same basic stuff, there's also like King of the Hill where you capture, or Domination where you capture like certain zones. And you have to cover those small areas, and you don't care about the rest of the level except for the zones. But I think it's going to be pretty rad.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
And now I know what Amiibo is.
Now I know what an Amiibo is. Yeah, I had no idea.
I really had no. Yeah. He touched on it with me before, but I just still quite didn't understand why people were purchasing it.
Yeah. No,
it sounded like people were buying Kinder Surprises, but now I understand you can save on it.
Yeah.
Collectible, well made. Okay. Makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Alright. So that's
Gee, you've been quiet. What do you think about all this?
I think we know.
I think
yeah, he doesn't give a shit. It's awesome.
I do want to
got nothing against it.
Yeah.
I do want to point out before we move to the next segment that G was clearly role playing a cat for a little bit there. As he was simply batting the little I don't know what you call the light switch string.
Yeah, above his head.
So he's
it was above my head. What else would it be there for?
I can't argue with that. I don't know. Yeah. Well, thank you anyway, Russ. That answers a lot of questions. I'm sure it answers a lot for people who are listening as well. Next topic we wanted to touch on. This is is something that I know Russ and G are pretty excited about, as they were big Neverwinter fans. Neverwinter Nights, which is
I would say Russ is more of an Icewind Dale fan. I was the bigger Neverwinter fan.
What kind of style
you got me into Neverwinter hard.
Yeah.
When I found out about Neverwinter off of you, I literally lost my life.
Oh, okay.
So what is that? What do you call that game? Is there a name for that type of RPG?
I just call it like a D&D RPG game.
They're considered CRPGs.
What's C stand for? Call it classic?
I don't know.
They're just called that.
CRPGs, it's fine.
Alright, well, moving on. Next segment.
So, there's one that's been announced that you've been particularly excited about.
There's a couple,
Actually, that's true.
It's a good time to be a CRPG.
What a time to be alive!
Emphasis on the C.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever it is.
So, I don't know, why don't you start
Research, we do it.
Yeah.
Why don't you start off by telling us about either Pillars or Swords of the Coast? Which one?
Well, let's start off with Pillars.
Sure.
Pillars of Eternity was a CRPG that was released, I believe, earlier this week.
Yeah.
Was it a full release or was it just a
full release? Yeah. It was available in beta, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been.
But this is the official release, and it's not like an actual It's an actual release. It's not a little pre-cum.
Right, it's not like an alpha or early access.
Yeah, it's not like they just put a 1.0 and said
which is really refreshing.
Yeah,
it's really nice to finally get the full product. But yeah, no, I've been looking into this a lot, watching videos. Was following it a little bit a long time ago because it looked awesome, and obviously they emphasized that it would have that sort of feel as Baldur's Gate to Neverwinter and Icewind Dale and all those. But it's a new system. They've got their own system, their own damage ranges and things like that.
So it's not based on D&D?
I don't believe it's a dice. It's more it's a similar feel.
Yeah,
it gives you the similar.
But not
similar
maybe
feel.
Not using their
It's
exact rules.
not the exact rules.
Yeah. This pay licensing for that.
I believe it's it's just easier to have your own system.
Yeah.
But from what a lot of the players are saying, if you watch videos or first looks or things, they're saying it's all just D&D stuff reimagined. So new names, new colors, effects, whatever. But a lot of the same stuff, right?
You'll recognize,
you still got your all your AOE things that you can do in D&D, and all the like single target spells are there. They're just reimagined, and it looks really cool.
It got an incredible review from PC Gamer.
Yeah,
really good.
And I know that there's always questions about how they're influenced on reviews and any site, but it's very rare. It's very rare that I ever see PC Gamer be that glowing and write that much in a review where they were just like everything. Yeah. I lost my life to this game. Like the guy basically sounded like he didn't want to be writing the review. He wanted to be playing the game.
Yeah.
So is there like you can play this? Like it's just co-op, like or single player or co-op, right?
Nope, it is just single player.
Okay.
So this one in particular is a single player only adventure. I believe you just create your character.
Okay.
So not your entire party.
I wish I could remember, but I don't believe in this one you can. I believe
think your party
in
is characters that you meet.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I believe in the next one we're going to talk about, you can create your own party.
What I saw from the gameplay and trailers and stuff for Pillars though is that it doesn't matter that you can't make your whole party because the characters that are just in the game, like created for the game, like seem to have a shit ton of life to them. You know, like the story and the voice acting too is just so rich, and you start and you're just consumed in this world.
It's very immersive.
Yeah.
And that's why I fell in love with Icewind and Neverwinter. You're just immersed.
Yeah.
So deeply.
So that's going to be something I'm definitely going to be looking out for. I wasn't, like I said, this wasn't a game that was really high on my radar. I had heard of the name, but I still didn't really, actually until about today, I was looking up stuff. I was like, people keep talking about this game.
They weren't exactly knocking on doors, but it's always been there.
Yeah.
It's always been there. Yeah. So,
hey,
I favorited it a million ago.
Yeah, I've had it on my Steam wish list for probably a long time, before there was even an icon for the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
When a game
I forgot about it for a good while.
Forgot about it forever.
They weren't pushing it.
When a game is good enough, it'll speak for itself.
Yep. So that's I'm planning to get that right away.
They were saying that in that PC Gamer review that like the moment he realized how in depth the game was and how well it was when he realized he'd spent an hour and a half sitting at the character creation screen.
Yeah.
Adjusting things and like what his background was and his sub race and like all this.
It's always a good sign. That's a good sign.
And I'm like, that's what's really nice about sometimes removing a multiplayer or co-op perspective is that it frees you up to really just focus all your time on story.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. You're not focusing on the min-max so much.
And balance.
Yeah.
Between
like a little bit of, you can just sort of turn a blind eye to something that's underpowered because you enjoy using it.
Yeah.
It's not competitive.
Yep. So not everyone's like, that does the most damage, so I will put that in my
It's very inefficient of you to be using your ice spells and some of your fire spells when they don't synergize together.
There's no value there.
Yeah.
You guys would be probably the worst people to play that game.
Okay, you know what? We should just start an interactive stream where we hire players to play and we just criticize the players the whole time.
So what you're saying is we're going to pay people money to then criticize them.
Yeah, we're basically paying them.
So
we're
giving them a job.
Is there some way that we can get them to pay us to criticize them?
Gee, I think you should pay me for just saying that.
But I think I've always thrown out the idea that we should just, we could start a new unboxing channel, but instead of unboxing new computers, it'll just be check out my Crispy Crunch and just open it up. There's no other channel out there for that, so I was
slow motion eating effects.
That could be
okay. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. Very exciting. Pillars of Eternity.
So what was the?
Here's. I'm sorry. I wanted to say something about that, but you guys were really into it. And I didn't want to interrupt. Well, they say they made a big deal. Oh, sorry. This was Swords of the Coast, not.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
so let's go on to
sorry,
number
my bad.
two.
I'm jumping the shark
Let's
here.
move on to Swords of the Coast because that's where we were headed anyway.
Yeah.
So Swords of the Coast is the other CRPG that you guys are excited about.
But this one actually is D&D based.
Yes.
Yeah, and this week there was a specific event that Russ, you were pretty excited about.
I was really excited about it.
And just the idea that that's something you can do in the game.
Super cool.
So tell us about it.
So originally they had announced that there was... This is following a single-player sort of Twitch demo that they had. They had announced a multiplayer demo that they were going to have, and it was going to be a live stream, and it was going to be a dungeon guided by like a 4-person party guided by one player, and then the dungeon master is another player. And you think
so there's a fifth
Okay, that's what I wanted to mention. They sort of said that like this is some new thing, but you could do that in both Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2.
This is different. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. Prepare yourself.
Okay. Preparing my body.
So, a reminder, this is Swords of the Coast.
Swords of the Coast.
Right.
Anoint me in oils.
That wasn't even English to me.
I don't even... Okay, so essentially, one player controls the party of heroes, and you make your own party balanced. And I believe you can transition at any point you can transition your in-game party to just do this event, and it's like sort of like its own little multiplayer,
like an instance.
It's like a versus mode. Okay. So you have your party of your 4 guys. Mm-hmm. You have your rogue, your lockpicker. You got your spellcaster. You got your healer, and you got your frontliner. Yeah. Then the other player is the dungeon master. Now there's a whole random generated dungeon that they deal with and that they've selected. So they select like the tile set, the monster sets. They select like the environment and stuff, things like that. And then once it's loaded, it's populated with these sections where there's can be battles and rooms and treasures and it can be interacted with using a resource pool that the dungeon master gets. Okay. So they spend their resources and they drop down, locks and traps, and they'll put in ambushes and monsters, and they'll spend their resources in order to sort of make the player fail. Yeah. And the player has to deal with all the challenges as the guy comes with. Now, for a little, different, never sort of thought of factor, the dungeon master gets loot as the player fights and wins battles. So the better the player gets by dominating and getting more XP and possibly items, then the dungeon master gets more resources, stronger as well, and the dungeon master will get one-time use items. Yeah. So a dungeon master can drop in like a small zombie horde, just when he needs it because he had this item that he picked up. So
it's more of a reward system versus like in Neverwinter Nights where it's just sort of a fun thing to do. You would get
well, see, I don't know how it's going to transition from, your party to single player to that mode. Mm-hmm. I don't know the details there. Again, the game's not out yet. Yeah. But the concept works. What I sort of remember this to be the closest possibly to is, do you remember the zombie game for Half-Life 2? It was a mod. And there was I think it was called Zombie Master.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that game was awesome.
And it was like an 8-man squad versus the ZM, the Zombie Master. Yeah. And he got resources based on things that happened. The players are doing good. He's doing good, too.
I love that mod. That was a great mod.
It was such a good experience because it's like, I'm setting this trap. I'm putting this skeleton right behind this wall. And there's a secret wall here, but you have a rogue, so I know it's going to reveal. So as you're walking by, you're just going to get ambushed by all these crazy things. And, you can just really... You have to use your... It's like a live chess game. You have to use your sort of resources and think, how am I going to destroy this guy with what he's got?
So that's in the same vein as Arma 3's
Zeus, yeah, exactly.
That, and that is an extremely popular mod. Yeah. That drives the sales of that game because it just... Of that, there's a competitive kind of, I'm going to keep going, you're going to keep going, and we're just going to keep amping it up until shit is just off the wall.
Yeah, and it's a good time for everyone.
That's endless replayability,
really, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So no person, unless I shouldn't say.
I've always wanted, and maybe one day it'll happen, but a true, essentially a digital conversion of Dungeons and Dragons into a game.
Roll20.
What?
Roll20.
What's that?
Believe.com.
Oh,
it is a digital version of Dungeons and Dragons.
That's being worked on, or that exists?
It's out there.
It's been there for a while.
Huh.
You got to check it out. And
I will.
And I have no affiliation with them, but it's the raddest.
You know what we should do? Start LARPing.
What? No.
All right, I'm up.
So
see you guys.
That's the end of the podcast.
What? Where did that even come from?
We're gonna have to put him down. He's sick.
Nothing against anyone who LARPs. It's just not something that I.
Yeah.
I'm not
Come on, you can throw pine cones at people and shout lightning bolt.
I'm not as outgoing as some people would believe.
Yes.
So throwing pine cones at people and yelling lightning bolts is not something that I envision myself having a lot.
Well, you might if you saw the people who LARP.
I have. I've lived near Assiniboine Park here in Winnipeg long enough to have seen LARPs on Saturdays or Sundays. I think they fight the cricket people for the field or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's cool. They have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to go over and hang out with my friends on a park bench and eat processed meat instead.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hot dogs. That's what I mean.
So the answer is yes. I'll see you next Sunday. Yeah.
So please dress up for the next one because this is such a visual medium.
Yeah.
People are really going to get blown away by it.
Yeah. Wow, G, it really does sound like you're wearing a robe.
A bathrobe.
Yeah. All right. Okay, well, excellent. I'm very excited.
You're a wizard, Jerry.
So you're telling me every time I put my my house coat on, I'm a wizard?
Yeah.
Well, more so than
what you
not.
really need though is like some like lightning bolt patches and you just sew them on there, or maybe some stars or something.
Yeah.
See, I'm not opposed to that as long as it's within my household. No one needs to know about it.
Okay, so yeah, so
knows about
Pillars of Eternity and Swords of the Coast.
Swords of the Coast.
All
Yeah,
right.
very cool, guys. That's exciting.
Excellent.
Are we moving on?
Yes,
Yeah, let's
moving on
do
to
it.
the next segment. And again, we're here with a very big favorite. I've received good feedback on this segment. Matt, we're ready for it. We're set up.
What are we
It's
doing?
time for Answer Me These Questions 3. So
Answer me these questions 3.
So this is a segment where Matt has 3, I guess, questions that pop up in his head.
Yep.
One for each of us here.
Yep.
For Russ, G, and me,
Yep.
Jeremy.
Yeah, we're just gonna take a break from talking about these things that no one else cares about but us, and just kind of.
It's just a throwback. Obviously, China.
I still don't. I don't know if it's obvious. But it's
Russ, obviously China. Unger.
that was so funny. Okay,
That's
very
good.
good.
all right. So,
I'm ready. Let's do
all
it.
right. Question number 1 for Jeremy.
Oh, I didn't mean me
Gross.
first.
Yeah, I know.
I'm number 1.
Yeah.
Don't get it
Okay,
dirty.
if you could spend the weekend with any person on this earth right now, living, not dead,
By Fuglian.
Yeah.
What are we doing on this weekend?
whatever the fuck you want.
Romantic getaway?
Yeah, whatever you
By
want.
Fuglian.
Let's assume unlimited resources on this, like in terms of money, whatever. The only thing that you're limited by is time.
You can have whatever you like.
See, now I have to think about this.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know,
idea.
as a married man, you want to probably say
No,
it. But I'm thinking that we're thinking outside the box here, right? In terms
What
of
do you mean outside the box? I'm asking you a question. You're gonna answer it.
Okay.
So fucking answer the
Yeah.
question. Why are you
Like, this
avoiding
is
the question?
This is a serious question. If you could
Answer
spend
the question!
Anywhere.
with anyone for a weekend, about a weekend, 48 hours, or let's say Friday night to Sunday night. Yeah. And what would you do?
Money's not an object.
No. Not
Oh,
for
okay.
this
Well,
one.
that's I would take Hannah to a Stanley Cup final game.
Oh,
Done.
oh.
Done.
Come on!
Okay?
Come on.
But this is why I wanted the clarification, because if it was like something where you're supposed to go out with it, like
You
something
did
outside
say
the box.
anyone.
You said
Yeah.
anyone.
I did.
So I'm thinking again in the realistic. I'm gonna
He's
pop the
thinking-
realistic.
But you
I
have
want
the
my
one,
wife to be
you have
happy
the
with
one
me.
chance to like hang out with any of your.
And you
anyone
know what I
else
would do?
Aside
And
of-
I would take Bruce Willis out for out for a weekend in New York, and I would hopefully get plastered with him, and maybe he could take advantage of me.
That's the answer we're looking
That
for.
was what we all do.
I mean,
was
the thing is
there
that my
beneath
wife
the
would be like,
surface.
"Oh yeah, Jeremy, Bruce
We'll
Willis."
we'll
that's pretty
edit
normal.
all that adult stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
No.
It's just the same thing with the sheds. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
This question: does Hannah, Jeremy's wife, listen to this podcast?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, 3 points then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but she knows about the Bruce Willis
Hashtag
thing.
you're
That's
earning it.
one of my free passes.
Yeah.
Is Bruce Willis?
Yeah. She has Ryan Reynolds. I have Bruce Willis. I think it's pretty fair.
That's fair.
Is it Ryan Reynolds on your list too?
Oh, probably. No, it was Ryan Gosling that was on my list.
Oh.
Both Canadian, though.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the funny thing about it. I always point that out to her. I'm like, the two Ryans that my wife finds particularly attractive are both Canadians and don't take themselves that seriously, especially Ryan Reynolds. Speaking of
He posted his
Deadpool,
his Deadpool.
Yeah.
lying on a rug in
Yeah,
front of a
on a
fireplace.
bear rug.
Yeah,
in front of a
bear rug.
Yes.
That's awesome. It's
perfect.
It's gonna be good. We
All
just
right.
have to forget about the
Green Lantern.
Just forget about it.
him.
I mean, what? What are you talking about?
Anyways, okay, good answer, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm glad that I
was
finally
okay.
found an answer you like. That's good.
Well, could have been better. So, Russ.
Wow.
So we're imagining essentially your apocalypse, where a solar flare or some sort of EMP happens and all electronic devices and everything in this world is knocked out.
Oh, are there zombies for some reason?
That might happen eventually, but I mean, you could essentially call the calamity of retards everywhere being zombies.
Okay.
Because nobody's got like, cell phones.
Nothing. All electronics.
Traffic incidents.
All
lowered, though.
electronics.
Well, our cars wouldn't be working.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
cars wouldn't be working.
Everyone would be driving cars before like the 80s.
Yeah. But let's say like you wake up tomorrow. You even just booked off vacation too, right? You wake up tomorrow, everything's powered down. No foreseeable. There's no foreseeable. What's the word? Future in which all of this is just gonna power back up. Essentially, things are fucked.
Oh, we're doomed.
Yeah.
in technology.
Yeah. What do you do? How do you deal with this? What do you do to spend your time?
As a hint, alcohol is not electronic.
That's right.
Well, I find objective 1A alcohol, and
Drinking.
I start a serious LARPing group.
That's actually a fantastic plan. I mean, like, whatever best time.
You know what? Swords of the Coast is never coming out, so I'm creating
Swords
my own.
of Russ.
Swords of Russ.
Who's the dungeon master this week, guys? Oh, he died of starvation. We need a new one.
So, if anyone, in case anyone isn't familiar with what LARPing means, it's live action roleplay. You essentially
Live act out.
Just search it on YouTube, you'll get it very quickly.
Yeah.
Or if you've watched the comedy Role Models, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
Live action
Yes.
role playing.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Hilarious movie.
I'm very glad that LARPing got its spotlight. You know?
Yeah, people are
Her whispering eye.
You Ben Affleck. That was a really good answer.
That was a really good answer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks.
My answer is now.
All right,
lost.
Kate. Now, G, I have to owe you a big apology.
Why?
I mean, I've been asking you really, really simple questions because, I mean, frankly, I just didn't think there was much to you. And
You're a horrible person.
Yeah, the last time we decided that I'm like an onion with layers, and you said makes you cry a little bit.
yeah, and so but now after spending this time with you on this podcast, there is something more than nothing to you. So I mean, I'm cordially upgrading you from single-celled organism to multi-celled organism.
All right.
Yeah, you're at least not.
Moving on up.
You're not asexual anymore. You're not just reproducing with yourself anymore.
Okay.
In my mind's eye, and I'm just
think
letting
he
you know.
does. There's a video online.
Oh,
Yeah.
ghub.g. Anyways, so with that, I will be asking you a little more of a deeper question.
Okay.
Actually, this is something that you might. Yeah. Okay. So, you're visited by a grand wizard,
Jesus.
and he. I don't know. He doesn't like you for some reason, or you tick him off because you're making fun because you're just calling him out as being a LARPer or something.
Or he plays new age video games.
Yeah,
and you're just talking shit about
talks
him.
about how
You might use a controller.
Yeah, to play Counter Strike. Right. and so he he's all mad at you and he hexes you and turns you into a freshwater creature.
Oh.
But you get to choose which creature he turns you into. That's kind of your
Freshwater
consciousness.
creature.
Yeah. What are you going to be
Can
for the rest of your life?
a mammal?
Yes. But it has to predominantly live in freshwater.
I'm gonna be a fucking beaver then.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Wow.
a fantastic.
Pretty good answer.
That's very Canadian.
I like
Wow,
that.
you're
Yeah.
gonna be playing Minecraft all the time.
Well, yeah. I mean, you build a sweet house.
Oh, I would
Check
chill.
out my pet.
I would chill.
all
I would
wood
chill in
furniture.
there.
Yeah.
You can
yeah.
literally eat through a fucking tree. I mean,
they
why,
actually
there's no
call them
downsides to being a beaver.
Except for
You
when
live
you
in a
get
lodge,
shot
I mean, how-
by some farmer who's
Yeah.
annoyed that you're damming up his grave.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, some
your
farmers are
home.
okay with it, as
Your
long as-
home is essentially ruining humanity's picturesque landscapes.
Well, this is the thing.
Or is humanity's picturesque landscape ruining my environment. Bet you didn't think about it like that, did you?
Well, he does have
Of course I didn't. We're all selfish human beings that don't give a shit about beavers.
You know what? Here's the thing. If beavers were to, like, you know, pay for a land title and go through the process we do to get land before they build their lodge, then no one would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But they're just dicks, and they're just like, hey, I'm going to build a lodge out of your trees now. I'm living here.
I think honestly, when it comes down to it, there's two sides to the coin, and beaver is definitely on one of them. If you live in Canada.
Okay, excellent.
All right.
Thank you for your answer. Thank you, guys.
A nickel?
Thank you. Yes.
I got it.
That was very good, guys.
Yeah, no,
that was
those were good.
That was a good one.
Is that
All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right, so moving on to the next segment, guys. Another regular segment. All right. We love Boston here at High Level Wizards. Not the city, the band. All right.
Not the city.
Not the city.
Well, I'm speaking for myself,
Yeah.
but I am not a Boston fan of the city. The Bruins suck. Patriots suck. Celtics suck. The Tea Party seemed really rude, so I'm just not a big fan.
However, do you like federal marshals?
Oh, from Boston?
From Boston.
I do like the accent. It's something enjoyable about that. But yeah, so moving on to the next segment here.
Yeah.
Another favorite.
Yeah.
We're going to do If It Was D&D, and this week G came up with the idea, or at least we all came up with the idea, but G's threw together the roster for Justice League. So we're going to try What If It Was D&D Justice League. G, tell us who's up first.
We're gonna do a the prototypical Justice League roster of the main entries. So we're gonna do Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern. I would like to add that we'll be going back and doing other DC characters and other Marvel characters.
Yeah, I'm sure. I feel like when we do this segment and we hit certain. We could do X-Men again too. There's so many.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
There's so many endless characters.
We're just hitting the primary ones. We'll go back and do the more obscure ones later on.
Yeah,
it's just Wolverine and
Wolverine.
Doctor
now.
Professor.
Oh yeah, Doctor Professor Y.
Why?
XY.
Yeah, XY.
So yeah, first
let's start off with the man himself, Superman.
Wow, he's probably
the Man of Steel.
He's probably
so that's plate armor.
Yeah, he's got at least a +4 set of full
But he's
plate.
not actually wearing armor. It's
But-
more of an actual spell.
But we're making them in the D&D universe.
If he was
Okay.
D&D,
Yeah.
he would be able
Alright.
to take hits like a mouse.
Yeah.
So there's no spellcaster.
His AC score has got to be out of this world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There are spells that give you super strength and stuff, but it would still. It would be he would. It might not cover everything that he does. Though, you know what I mean?
So he's got some laser eyes.
Yeah.
How could that be translated into D&D?
Well, didn't we do that with Cyclops?
Yeah,
You say it was
but I feel like Superman is more a melee fighter.
Yeah. Are we gonna kind of go the Hulk approach, where his flying is just him being to jump forever? Because that's what they say about the Hulk in the comics,
Or
right?
is he
Yeah.
partially the thing is I know barbarians are not typically a full plate class. Because you abuse their high dex dodge and stuff like that. But he does have the movement speed of a barb. He's got that extra movement.
To make
speed.
Superman, you would almost have to break every D&D rule.
Well, here's the thing.
But we can
Is he a couple points of barb, but focus mainly fighter plates?
Yeah.
But also with one level of wizard, or he's got that.
We can't really say he's a barbarian though. He doesn't have any berserker rage.
When I think Superman, and again, I'm not as well versed with D&D, but I don't visualize a guy decked out in plate going "Rawr" and yelling at guys like that. He goes in between a disguise.
See, when he says barbarian, though, he's not talking about a berserker's raging classical barbarian. When he touches on the class, he's talking about mostly because they have super high dexterity.
Yeah.
and movement speed.
And
plus 10%, I believe.
Yeah, so it's those pluses that kind of just make sense because he's Superman. He can do everything.
And his saving throws would have to be out of this world.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do our best. That's why we're having this discussion. We're gonna do our
just
best.
Doesn't fit.
No,
well, he kind of does it
it.
because, like I said, you'd have to break every single
gotta
D&D
break some
rule.
rules here.
I think it's okay to accept that, like
He'd be like a deity.
Superman
Yeah.
in his own
He would be like a
sense
deity.
is
deity.
kind of a god.
Yeah, a deity in D&D.
kind of a god.
D&D.
Oh, the old D&D.
Yeah.
D-D-D-D-D.
You guys are just degenerated.
That's all,
into
folks.
Just
Yeah.
terrible.
D.
So we're saying that he's above classes? Like, he's a unique...
Well, he would have, like, caster parts to him. He would have, like, fighter parts to
Yeah.
him.
You'd have to.
Well, I mean, the caster parts, those could be... I believe those can be dealt with by, like, level 1 spells. So he doesn't need that much caster. And he only needs a point of barbarian. So he could be one mage,
yeah, you're actually
one
right.
barb, and then full fighter.
His quote-unquote spells aren't inherently that powerful. It's just that he can do them.
Yeah.
You know, like
I don't know.
like
he
flight,
did
right? And-
like lobotomize some supervillain with his heat vision at one point.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it was Doomsday, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, but
Yeah.
point being, I don't know. It's a tough call
Yeah.
because his powers are just so like he's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. He's like the ultimate multi-class.
Yeah. It's like someone couldn't decide whether they wanted a melee fighter or
It's
a
like
caster.
you bring your annoying neighbor over to play D&D, and he wants to make a character that's the best, and that's
Yeah.
what he creates. And you're going, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And then he goes,
Are you Cartman right now? Oh my god.
yeah. And so like, I think it's kind of like that.
Is it? So is it?
It's like, I don't like this fight. I'm gonna fly over here. You can't fly. You're a fighter. I didn't do that wrong.
You know what? I kind of foresaw this problem when I chose Superman, but at the same time, I was like, how could we talk about
Justice League
without
yeah, of
saying
course.
Superman?
But it's important that this is discussed.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's important people are aware that this
Yeah.
is a thing.
Yeah.
Superman cannot be classed.
I cannot be classed.
Okay, alignment.
Yeah.
Alignment.
Well, that's
where are we
obvious.
at?
Good. Lawful good.
True. Yeah.
True. Like everything good.
Yeah, he's all
Everything good. Yeah. Like everything good. He's the purest, one of the purest forms of good that I've ever seen in any quote unquote hero, you know, like it's kind of insane.
So do we just say he's
He's a lawful good deity.
yeah.
Let's call him a deity.
At first glance,
Yeah.
your party identifies
Lawful good deity.
possible caster traits.
He's like some sort of like he's from like because they have like because I know D&D they touch base on like have like different dimensions of existence, different planes of existence and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe he came from somewhere else, which he did because he's an alien.
That's
He
right.
is, yeah, he's an outer worlder.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to put it that way.
Inescapable. We just can't define him.
Not as a classic character. You couldn't.
But his alignment is.
Yeah.
So Superman, in conclusion, is your annoying little brother's character that he made
Yeah.
because your parents are forcing you to play.
Yeah. And he
he's
wants to be
he's
the
a
best,
filthy
and
power gamer.
Yeah, and he wants to do it.
And he's
He wants to be the
rule-breaking.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not even using the dice.
No,
he's just yelling
yeah.
out natural 20
Yeah. Yeah.
like an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
That was a good
All
one.
right. Well, everyone's recent favorite, Batman.
You don't know me.
Why did I kill the Joker?
Well, here's the question: do we do comic Batman or Nolan-verse Batman?
Ooh.
Well, the new.
Let's drag on the top.
Okay, well, no,
everything.
let's. Yeah. So
Let's
let's
not have, like, a
discuss.
super
Let's
dark.
discuss. You brought that up. So, what are your main differences between?
Well,
Marvel
I
and
feel
comic?
like the differences primarily would be in alignment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Comic Batman is considerably less mopey most of the time.
That's a good point.
Like most of the time, there are definitely times where it gets all like douchebaggy
Yeah.
and like I'm so tortured.
Yeah.
But in like the Nolanverse, it's all the time. He's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. He's struggling.
he's having a bad time.
But moving on, let's ignore the super emo side
Okay.
of things.
Sure.
Let's go kind of like, I mean, let's skip class for
He's
now.
a dark Avenger. He's not all the way.
So wait, can we just say we're using Adam West Batman?
Oh shit.
Let's do it.
Because that's like literally the opposite of.
Wow.
Okay, let's
Right?
do it. Adam West. There's a little bit of retro corner here
Yeah,
because
yes,
I'm sure
yes.
a lot of people haven't seen it.
I
If you
grew
haven't
up watching that show, like reruns.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Cabot. Now, if you haven't seen the show, definitely watch the movie.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
god, the movie is
The
hysterical.
movie is so bad, it's funny. It's really, really
So
good.
I mean, it's not really that much different. Like, I mean, the only thing that's different in terms of the 70s Batman to like now Batman, for the most part, is essentially his attitude.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like his mindset and stuff. Like all the gadgets and stuff. That's all.
I'll tell you what,
it's all
though.
the same. You know,
all
it's
translated through
obviously it's
everyone.
more modern now, and
I'll tell you
not as
one thing.
campy. Yeah.
Ain't no way Batman's doing the Bat Dance now.
Oh my god, the Bat Dance.
You know, I don't know why you wouldn't want him to do it.
YouTube the Bat Dance
Yeah,
with
please.
Adam West.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, okay, back into D&D. Okay, so we're just saying, let's imagine it as Adam West Batman. He's a cool bro. He's just down.
Is he a blackguard?
Oh.
Explain.
I think I need to look it up, actually.
Oh, god damn it.
Okay, well, let's skip class while
Yeah.
G checks out
Yeah.
Blackguard.
Yeah.
So everyone really
Yeah.
learns here.
But he's a hand-to-hand
go to
combat though.
But let's go to alignment for a second
Sure,
here.
let's do it.
And if we're doing classic Batman, like
Let's do
Bob
classic.
Cabot,
Yeah.
Zippity Boobop,
Yep.
lawful good. Like
Yeah.
he
is good.
Stick up the ass good.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's absolutely over the top good.
I mean,
like
he
his
won't kill.
He won't kill.
We'll never use a gun.
But that's just
Never-
a rule of
never
his,
gun.
you know. Yeah.
Always captures. He's a catch and release kind of superhero.
He's a catch and release.
It's interesting because I would say the closest parallel to Batman in a lot of ways in the Marvelverse is Spider-Man, but they're considerably different in their secret identity life,
Yeah.
and very different in how they
Like
behave
polar
in costume.
opposites
Yeah.
too.
But
in
yet very much the same.
Yeah, in superhero format,
Yeah.
they're like the same. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good point. I would agree. But okay, so yeah,
Do we need a class for him?
yeah. So
I'm
I
just
mean,
waiting on G's.
yeah, the Blackguard.
Well, it can't be Blackguard because Alignment has to be evil.
Okay, well, I mean, he's obviously like a paladin. I mean, what
Yeah.
other choice do you have? Yes, okay, we're now if we're focusing on Adam West.
But he's like
Batman,
a fallen paladin, though.
He's not though, because Adam West.
Yeah.
There was nothing dark about that Batman.
Yeah.
In
nothing.
this particular analysis, he is a paladin.
I'll agree with that.
His colors are a
But
little...
he's so sneaky, though. He's got to have some like rogue or like even ranger in him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, but just because you're not a rogue doesn't mean you can't try and sneak.
Now here's why
Dexterous.
he's
But he's dexterous. He's so dexterous.
Here's not why he's not a rogue in particular is because he doesn't have the skill, the talents and the feats to identify traps. Because
Yeah.
he keeps fucking walking
Yeah.
into them.
That's true.
This is very true.
is very
Every week, in fact.
So
Yeah.
let's roll.
Same bat time, same bat shower.
Let's roll a ranger because a ranger has a lot of utility and they can manipulate magical.
And he may
devices
even
just
have
the
a
same way.
utility belt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He
certainly
could have
does
a
have
belt
one.
equipped. Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. His belt is definitely
His
equipped.
belt is like a +5 dex bonus.
His belt has 3 holding slots, and each one is a magical bag of holding,
I was just
which can hold unlimited like.
I was just
item.
gonna say we might as well call it like a magical, like his belt is a magical item.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Oh yeah.
got-
He's definitely equipped with that
Yeah.
magic belt, and everyone knows him for it.
Yeah. Nice.
Change his superhero name to Bags McGee.
Yes.
It's not a very superhero-y kind of name.
Yeah, whatever.
Quickly, call Bags McGee. We need help.
Put up the bag symbol.
Bags McGee to the rescue.
I wouldn't want to be saved by Bags. Out there.
Next character.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder
Now, see, if there was a paladin, I would say Wonder Woman is in fact a paladin.
She is a shield-bearing maiden.
Yes.
I don't think she.
She's
I
also
don't think she
bearing
like
them
wielded a
titties.
shield until
Yeah.
recently. And
Yeah,
that's
she was all about the whip.
Yeah, and it was
the
like
invisible-
The sword and shield is more.
Invisible.
Didn't she have like an invisible plane or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Okay.
making
Well,
sure I'm not
here's the
making
thing:
that
the sword and shield Wonder Woman in the comics was Donna Troy, who was the first Wonder Girl before Cassandra Sandsmark, who's the blonde Wonder Girl.
Okay.
Diana Prince didn't. I don't think really used a sword and shield until more recent iterations.
She had the bracers.
Yeah, she had the bracers and the whip which
And the whip
makes people tell the truth.
It had
and is
powers.
unbreakable.
Yeah, can't be torn.
And yes, she has an invisible jet.
Okay, so that's
And the bracers can deflect bullets.
Anything,
So,
I think, actually.
So there's deflection AC class on the bracer item. Yeah, for sure. At least +4.
It's like a natural AC bonus.
Yes.
So-
but deflection AC just for like
good call,
arrows and stuff.
Are we gonna give her like this like cursed to be invisible forever Wyvern that she just flies around?
Ooh, an invisible. Is it wyvern?
Wyvern, yeah.
Wyvern?
Because I want to say that instead of a dragon because dragons are fucking powerful.
I mean, alternatively, she could just be like a winged horse.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah. Give
She's
her
all
a Pegasus.
Greek themed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
good. That's a good
yeah.
one.
she Athenian, really.
I think
so-
they even have like Pegasi in Themyscira, the home of
That doesn't seem out of
the
place.
Amazons.
Yeah.
I don't know that she ever rode one personally,
Yeah.
but they definitely have them.
I like how you said personally. Like I never talked to her.
I haven't visited that.
No, I
place,
meant
actually.
that Wonder Woman personally has
I
never
was
ridden
talking
one.
to Wonder
I haven't-
Woman,
I
and
haven't
she never
watched-
mentioned it.
I haven't watched the Netflix documentary. on
Yeah.
it, But I do know some.
Okay, so she's got like we're obviously focusing on items because she's got some.
She's
cool
got a
ones.
lot of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So the vehicle, the method of transportation is clearly an invisible,
Some
like,
sort of
flying mount.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
Yeah. I think that works.
That's really sweet.
But is she Paladin?
Maybe?
I feel like she's a true paladin. All her points into paladin.
Yeah, she's really all about justice. I mean, there have been times in the comics where she kind of like lost her way and like started like beating the shit out of people, like
Really?
to the point of death. Yeah,
Was
Really?
she Ronda Rousey some people?
Well,
It's fine. It's a UFC reference.
I completely lost my train of thought there.
So let's go
She
back
was
to
beating up people.
Right,
so let's go back to alignment.
but Superman eventually came in and
So she could
was
be-
all like,
Did he beat her up?
no, he talked her through it, and he was all like, "You're just
so
upset."
therapist. Not only is he a superhero guy, can do all these things. He's
Yes.
also a trained therapist.
So how could we break the rule to get a lawful neutral Pally?
I think you can have a lawful neutral. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I think you can.
I don't think she can be neutral, but she can be like neutral good. She could be.
But you have to be lawful to be a pally.
Oh yeah, you're right. So she could be
Yeah.
lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral.
Or lawful evil. Well, she's clearly.
Not
She's defending her people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think she is. Her intentions are always good.
but she's also kind of all like not. Like, you know, she's like the world
I'm not
of
as familiar
men.
with.
The
I'm
world
not-
of men.
She does hate men a little bit,
But that's kind of that's kind of like an old school comic trope. That's
but she
Yeah,
comes
that's
from a
what the
world
selling
where
point of-
That's
Yeah.
but that's a good point because it's also an older trope that's not necessarily representative of how they depict Wonder Woman now.
yeah,
yeah.
like in the
But that-
cartoons.
Yeah.
she's not really.
But I mean, I would understand if she hated men because
Sure.
she came from a world of Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
yeah,
How
yeah.
do you,
So, yeah.
you don't understand.
That's true. That's
that
true.
which-
It still makes sense.
On an off-topic sort of question, is there not a new Wonder Woman movie coming?
There's
been
a
rumored-
Justice League movie coming.
With Wonder Woman in
They're
it.
Yeah, I
putting
believe
Wonder
so, yeah.
Woman in the next Batman Superman movie,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
Yeah.
there'll be at least a cameo or like
Yeah.
she'll be
Which
in
we'll
there.
touch on in another.
How big do you think they're gonna make her tits? Because I mean, Wonder Woman's
Well, it's-
obviously known for like
it's Gal
having.
Gadot, so I don't know. Her tits aren't that big. I don't think.
I don't know.
Really?
She's a model. Models typically, yeah.
Well, Wonder Woman's known for having like.
I know,
some
yeah.
tickled bitches.
She's also known for being like muscular and huge, and this girl's skinny as shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but-
super tall, really crazy.
Yeah.
Like an Amazonian.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
most of us, though, for example, Christian Bale going into being Batman, I
Yeah.
didn't visualize him as Batman because he was in The Machinist
Yeah.
and was literally 8 pounds.
I don't think he was a very good Batman anyway. So
But I didn't visualize
Yeah.
him as a big. He eventually became a very.
you're right. He's like kind of synonymous
he's
with the role
talking
now.
about like especially physically.
His physical
Yeah.
appearance.
His physique
Mm,
changed to
yeah.
fit the
Yeah,
role, and
Yeah, he went 0 to 100 though for that.
Not leisurely at all.
it was the
No.
same thing. It was the same thing with the guy in Guardians of the Galaxy. What is his name?
Chris Pratt.
Chris
yeah,
Pratt.
Chris Pratt went
Yeah.
from being a relatively, average-looking guy.
Yeah,
How about
he even
Captain
had, like-
America? What's his name? Chris.
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Pine?
Same-
No.
No,
No,
Chris.
Chris Pine is
Captain Kirk.
Captain
Yeah.
Kirk.
Chris.
Hemsworth.
No, that's.
I know who you're talking about. We
That's
all know who you're
Thor.
talking about.
Anyway, that guy went from like
Yep.
like you saw him in Fantastic Four. He was fit. He wasn't
Yeah,
But he
muscular,
wasn't big.
but now he's gigantic.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
back on topic.
Sorry.
Wonder Woman and her tits. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Alignment.
I think she has
neutral?
to be lawful neutral.
Yeah,
I think that's the only way of doing
she's
it.
not. Yeah, she's not lawful good because if good, she would be defending everyone. But she's
I think
really
that
defending
the
her
difference
people.
between Superman and Wonder Woman is that Superman is sort of more of a for the establishment, or like originally
For
he was,
Earth.
Yeah.
No, like
he
for the
defends-
American government is what he was.
Yes, that's true. Actually,
Yeah,
And he
what
was
Earth
American
was
flags
perceived
and
by-
American, and that was kind of his thing.
yeah.
In later years, he sort of separated himself, as most superheroes end up doing.
Rebel.
But
In their teenage
however,
years.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, on the other hand, has always sort of had her own sort of like code and her
Yeah.
own,
Her own set of
She
priorities.
creates
Yeah.
her own god.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
All right.
All right.
Good. So that's the last character.
Last character is Green Lantern. I think this one might be a little bit more difficult.
Enchanter. Enchanter's focused as caster because he's got a lot of enchantments.
An illusionist, even.
A conjurer.
A conjurer, yes.
So, does
he's
he
a wizard.
Yes, he's a wizard. Does he primary conjurer?
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. That's actually really good.
That's a good one.
So you
Yeah.
thought that was going to be difficult in
Yeah,
no,
6 seconds.
It's like, wait a minute.
I forgot Conjurer was that's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
So,
So-
he's conjuring fists, he's conjuring machine
Yeah.
guns, he's conjuring
Airplanes,
airplanes, you know?
Alignment?
Oh. So,
Is that
I
going to
would
be
say
difficult?
I would say he's neutral good.
yeah.
Yeah, neutral good.
Yeah.
Maybe even chaotic good.
I mean, he slips sometimes.
Yeah.
So he can't be too
Well,
lawful.
here's the thing. We're talking about Barry.
Oh, yeah, there's like
Alan?
5 different...
Oh, wait, sorry. That's the Flash. I mean, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
Who's dead now.
I think he's brought back now.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't
But
mean
the
anything.
thing about
Yeah,
the
it's
Green
true.
Lanterns is that there can be more than one at a time.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
there's
Can
a
you
whole.
explain that to me?
Isn't
'Cause
it
I'm not
like-
a big...
Well, the Green
I don't know
Lantern.
enough about Green Lantern.
It's the Green Lantern
It's like a
Corps,
club.
and they're like it's like an
Is it like a
intergalactic.
brand that they
It's
hand?
like an intergalactic space police
Yeah.
And they
You hand it off to somebody you feel like, oh, you
Yeah.
fill this role.
Yeah.
I'm too old, my legs
Yeah.
hurt, here you go.
thing. So like Earth,
like
for
the
example,
wrestler.
has
It's like a
about like
wrestling character.
4 different Green Lanterns. Sometimes just only one at a time. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 at a time.
So that literally there could be a fight where there's 3 Green Lanterns fighting
Yeah,
against a
potentially.
particular
Yeah.
villain.
It's possible.
Interesting. I didn't know
And
that.
they're not against helping each other out.
Yeah.
No, I just thought that was interesting.
Well, let's go with Hal Jordan because he's the most popular and most
Yeah.
well known.
People are aware of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that that what we just said all still stands, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just straight Conjurer, neutral good.
Neutral
Yeah.
good, conjurer,
Yeah.
focused wizard.
How
yeah.
about that? The what you envisioned to be the hardest one.
Yeah.
ended up being
That's
the
a good
quickest.
one.
Well, that was a good if it was D&D, and I'm sure we'll revisit Justice League once again.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of stuff to scratch.
I want to
up there
get
as well.
into some of the more obscure characters. That's the one I want to
Yeah,
do.
what's some- I mean-
Zatanna is one I really want to do.
We'll just all personally have to. You know what? We'll just personally all have to do a lot more
Yeah.
more research on it, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to do a little reading.
Very
strenuous.
some of the ones that got cut today were the Flash and Black Canary. So I'd like to do them as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's not that they were cut. It's just that we
ran out of time.
we have got. I think this probably will be our longest episode.
It might be.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
getting
see.
there.
We'll see. Or it'll end up at 121.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
randomly for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, let's move to the last segment. It's a new segment.
Yeah, we've kind of just figured out a way to just wrap up the episode in a quick fashion, and we've dubbed it "One Up, One Down,"
Yes.
and essentially it's kind of like our opening where we just kind of ask each other, what we've been up to. But this is a more kind of segmented view where you just you pick one thing that you've recently been really stoked about, or maybe a good thing that happened to you, and one shitty thing that you are not so stoked about or that happened to you, and yeah. So Jeremy, one up, one down.
My one up is
Yeah.
out of the park baseball 16 came out this week. It's
Yeah.
a baseball simulator
How did you not even mention that when we were asking you what you've been doing this
because
week?
I saved it for when I
Okay.
was down.
You
I
saved
didn't
it.
want to touch it twice.
All right.
All
right.
To be
You
fair,
never want to touch it twice.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here. I'm planning on touching this thing so many times. I think we all know what I'm going to touch.
Okay, no, okay.
it's a big favorite of mine. I spent a lot of hours in it. It literally is just managing a franchise, budgeting, looking at numbers. This guy hits whatever gets righties. If you're a sports guy, if you're a baseball guy,
You would lose
you
yourself.
will
in
lose
this.
yourself in it very quickly. I'm currently playing as the Blue Jays, as I typically do, and I'm currently dismantling the team and restarting.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you.
Re-envisioning it. 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Actually, I have 6 years to win a World Series, or my owner's going to fire me. So, and then my down was the Twitch reset. I was highly annoyed that I had to go and change my password and reset.
Oh yeah, they got
stream.
hacked, right? There was.
That was really the only down that I could think of this week.
Yeah, yeah.
It was annoying. For a lot of people, a lot of shows got disrupted.
Yeah.
So
weird. Okay. Fair enough.
That's it.
Russ?
My one-up would literally have to be the Pillars and the CRPG sort of scene. That announcement.
And everything's kind of it's resurging, right?
The up itself would be my feelings towards those type of games and my desire to get back into them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, during this podcast, I've ensured that Pillars is installing.
Yeah, you guys won't really know, but we actually paused the podcast and had a bit of a break and kept going. But during that pause, Russ bought the game on Steam.
Pillars, yeah. And
remotely went onto his
installed.
computer to make sure it started downloading.
Now here's the thing. It's research. It's
That's
just
right.
purely research.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a tax write-off now.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's
how it works.
All right. Okay, and you're down?
My down. I'm losing my life.
Two?
Monster Hunter. I'm at the point where I'm at the end game, and it's like it's the same feeling as.
So wait, when you say that. Why? Now you're on a vacation this week, are you not?
Yeah.
And what are you going to be doing during this week off?
So we're referring to this vacation as Huntathon 2015.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
One of my close friends and I are basically taking a week off to hunt. Now, there's 2 monsters I'm trying to kill in this hunt. One is obviously the ones that I need to make armor and get my guy better. The second monster I'm trying to kill is the game itself. I'm hoping by a week of straight gaming,
You'll burn it out.
I'll burn it. I know that's not true.
You're
because
hoping.
there's DLC and there's things. There'll always be a reason to pick it back up.
That's great.
Well,
good luck to you.
My down is that I have no life.
Good luck to you. I love that. That's very fair. G, 1 up, 1 down. Sure.
Well, my one up this week would have to be a television show, and it's Vikings because it's awesome.
Oh, you just started?
No, I've been watching. the new season's been going,
okay.
and I've been following it, and that's the most recent up.
Yeah, I've heard lots of good things about it. I've never watched it.
It's really good.
I heard it's good.
I've heard nothing but good things.
My one down would be my computer nearly dying.
What? What happened?
Oh, I gave him a headset.
And some corrupted drivers fucked my computer.
And who came in and saved the day?
And Russ came in and saved the day.
What class is Russ?
I don't think there's a D&D class that goes around and fixes computers.
I think there is.
You're an IT wizard. Your special abilities are certifications.
In Warcraft, you'd be a gnome.
That's true.
A tinkerer.
I'm a gnomish tinkerer.
Yeah, an engineer of sorts.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, cool. And,
Okay, and for me, so my one up is, I guess I touched on earlier, but that I'm back into Guild Wars and playing it, here and there, and thoroughly enjoying it.
I should install it.
Thoroughly enjoying it. It's awesome. I don't know. You would notice the changes more than anything. I mean, there was a few months ago where you were playing again a little bit, and you had already noticed lots.
He's pointing at me, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, pointing at Russ. Yeah, and you had already noticed. You're like, whoa, lots different, right?
Yeah.
And you were kind of showing me the ropes with
I
world
had,
versus world.
At a certain
PvP.
point, I had completed everything.
Yes.
I had every zone checked off.
Yes.
I had completed the game.
Yeah.
So
they added lots more.
There's lots of stuff. That's good.
Lots of rescaling, lots of rebalancing. They changed the way your your skills work and stuff, and like your points for your class skills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they changed that all up. So I'm almost at max level now with my main.
Good.
But I started a hunter as well, human hunter.
Nice.
And I'm excited about that. And my one down is that. So as I've mentioned before, I'm very excited for GTA 5 coming out on PC, and I'm kind of losing my mind to it. And apparently I've been having dreams where I'm playing GTA 5, and it's awesome, and having a great time with all my friends, and just having all these adventures, and I wake up, and it's still not here.
You're like Cartman waiting for...
It's going to be okay. It's coming. And when it comes, it's going to be amazing. You just have
a couple more weeks.
Dust yourself off, wash your bed sheets, and just carry on with your life.
Couple more weeks. That's it for me.
Well, that's 1 up, 1 down this week.
Awesome.
I like that upside. And you know what? I don't care what anyone at TSN says. We didn't take it from them. That's our idea first. We came up with 1 up, 1 down.
Yeah.
in the apartment 6 years ago.
That one day.
Yeah, that one day.
That one
exactly.
day. Yeah.
So that's been episode 3 of the
Yep.
High Level Wizards podcast. As a reminder, we'd like to ask you guys as much as you can, if you can, share our Facebook page, which
Yep.
is facebook.com/highllevelwizards with an S. You can find us on Twitter at HighLVL Wizards. So please give us a follow, and if you can, give us a shout out. We'll be happy to shout back at you.
Yeah, give us feedback. I don't know
Ask
if we've
us
heard too
questions
much.
and we will
Ask us
answer
questions,
them.
give us feedback.
We've only heard good things, so
Yeah.
let's
You guys should be more critical.
Let's get
Where's
some-
the
You know what?
internet trolls?
Here's this. The first person to openly tweet either the High LVL Wizards or one of us to give their pronunciation of G's username.
Yes.
I will hand them a free game. I have a bunch of Humble Bundle games sitting around. I will throw you something that
Oh,
you will
yeah, how about
possibly
that?
like.
Hey, give me some fucking free games. I'm
Okay,
on
hang
Now
on.
let's eat chocolate.
Hang on 1 second. Let's start. What did you just say, G?
What did I just say?
What I think I bought you this game once. It was called Dota 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was back when to get into the beta you bought it.
Yeah. And
Awesome Knots.
G hated me
Another one.
forever.
I played Awesome Nonce a little bit.
The only thing that I asked is that G sent me all the equipment that he got, Dota 2 inventory, so then I sold
Nice.
it for like the 88 cents it was worth.
Great.
But yeah, episode 3 had a lot of fun, guys.
All right,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Give us a follow. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
2 weeks.